I hear you like metal?
Well, yes, I do. And if you follow this channel for a little while, you probably know that I got a little bit of maybe an obsession with it. I mean, it's kind of hard because I really like the premium quality. And I think as far as collecting goes, the metal will hold up longer. But I was really happy that Anbernic had decided to finally do a proper follow-up to the 405M, the last metal handheld that they released. Really a long time ago. When the 406H came out, I fell in love with that handheld, but it was not what we all expected. But now we have the 477M here. And is it all it's cracked up to be? Well, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our awesome content. But let's take this handheld for a spin and let's find out if the RG477M is really the end-all be-all of metal handhelds.
I am Deadfred's better half. Welcome to the darker side of retro gaming.
Oh no, wait, no, we're not going to do that today. Who let him out? Sorry guys, that's not supposed to be there. But today we are talking about the Anbernic RG477M. So let's get this thing unboxed, and let's begin with the box, which is very nice. I think that Anbernic has really stepped up their game. Here on the front of the box we have a plain sort of picture, but we do have the RG477M label on front that is embedded in this nice little silver color. I really like the look of this. Moving to the side, we do have our specs for the selections. Comes in two colors this time. We have silver blade and chocolate bronze. We also have two storage solutions here. We've got the 8GB RAM with 128 gig eMMC, and then we have a 12GB RAM with a 256 gig eMMC. So two different selections there in two colors, which I think is great. The other side, we have some made in China and little things, but nothing on the rest of the box and nothing below it. However, the real nice is once you open this up. So let's get this thing open and take a look inside. And once we get inside, we're greeted with the handheld. We'll pull this out for a second and take it out of the way. It is nicely wrapped in some plastic here. And below this, we do have this interesting box. Now, once in this box is a lot of different things, but once we open this box and take a peek inside, we do see that we have, no question about it, we have some screen wipes, and a funny little dot. Don't know what that's for. And then we have our USB-C cable. It's a standard USB A to C, so we do have that. Again, some wipes. And then we have a screen protector. And so this is, it's kind of in this package, kind of tightly in this package, actually, kind of interesting. But this is a 4.7-inch screen, that custom screen, the LPTS screen. But yeah, this is pretty nice quality. Below that, we do have a manual, and wow, this is a basic manual. I mean, it's really kind of interesting, the manual here. Not much going on to it. I guess since it's Android, they figure you don't need much instruction. But we do have it in both English and in Mandarin. And then below that, we have, oh, look, this nice little clear TPU case. That is really nice. A nice touch that Anbernic had put that in there. It reminds me of the one that I have on my Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So too bad it doesn't really have a grip function shape to it. That would have been better. But hey, kudos for them adding that in here. So yeah, this package is nice. It's really good. They've kind of upped the game here. I really like what they're doing with this. But let's get this put back in there and let's take a further look at the handheld. And again, sorry about that weird guy. I hope he doesn't show up again. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, AliExpress, and the Retroid Pocket Mini V2. We want to thank AliExpress for sending this to us. This is an amazing device. Now, we all know that Retroid had a big boo-boo with the original V1 where they kind of messed up the screen, but the new V2 comes with that big, beautiful full display screen. This is an amazing handheld. It already was great, but now it's even better. You can check my influencer page with all the coupon codes so you can get this and other great items at a discount. We love this handheld. It's so amazing. Again, we want to thank AliExpress for sponsoring our channel and for giving you deadheads all these great discounts. Remember to hit the links down there so you can save today. Anyways, back to the show. All right, guys. So first hand on things, and this is really nice build quality. I've always liked a sort of flat candy slab type device, and we have one here that is like a bigger 40XXH, which was one of our favorites last year. This has really nice, clean lines, curved lines. It is a little hefty, but it feels solid in my hands. The material here, this silver, this metal, is really nice. Now, initially, some people were worried about the finish of this, but I gotta say, and maybe I'm in the minority, I really like the finish of this. I like the look of it. It doesn't look unfinished to me. It looks fantastic. Now I do have the little TPU screen protector thingy on here, which if you don't like the cold feel of the metal on the back, gives you a little bit of a plastic feel. I do wish it had a grip, but it looks good and feels good. This is probably one of the best belt Anbernics that I've ever had. You know, the 405M was one of the darling of the communities. I loved it quite a bit. And most recently, the Anbernic RG Slide. I loved it. I still love that handheld, even though it's quirky, and especially for the screen, and this has the screen. But let me say, even on the back with the metal, you have a nice air vent here. I just can't tell you how nice the quality, the quality of this feels. It just feels really amazing.
Hey man, I gotta stop you there. Why are you rambling on about the build quality when this thing handles like a flat slab of steel?
Hey, negative Deadfred. It is sort of like steel, and it is a flat slab, but I like that. What's wrong with you?
At least it doesn't heat up like a microwave super burrito from 7-Eleven. Also, what's with you ignoring all that loud fan noise?
Hold on, my guy. We'll get to that. We ain't even turned it on for the deadheads. We haven't gotten there, but we're about to get there. We're going to turn this thing on. And is the negative Deadfred right? Is this thing just too loud? A lot of fan noise? Let's get it going and find out. Okay, negative deadhead. We have this thing turned on, and it's got the familiar Android interface we've accustomed to. This thing is running the Dimensity 8300, the CPU we first saw when Anbernic released the RG557 earlier this year, a handheld that we liked but had its quirks. Now, this processor is got some certain things to it. Now, I haven't read widespread reports of this, but I did not get the battery life that I got in my 577. Now, 557. Sorry, these numbers are getting to me. So I wonder if there's any sort of particular setting or something on mine. Now, the good news is that Gamma is working on this, so I have trustworthy that even if I have some quirks in mine, I'll get good battery life of it. But let's test out the hardware like always, and oh boy, we have some really nice buttons as always. They feel really good. Some people don't like the Skittle buttons on this one. I like it. I think they look fine. But these are really good Anbernic buttons that we've come to expect. Moving on to the D-pad. And yes, this is a really good D-pad. I've got to say, I like the D-pad quite a bit. It is reminiscent of the most recent D-pads with no problem to that. But now let's get to my favorite thing. One of the things I liked most about the 406H was the Genful sticks. I did not like the sticks that they used on the 557. I'll be the first to admit it. But these have the removable sticks. So you can do that. These are the Genful. I do have some 3D printed. These are not hype sticks, but these are see-through sticks I have. And they give a little taller base to it. The sticks it shipped with are pretty good. Now, It would be nice if, like Ioneo, they included some extra sticks to put in there. That would have been great, but they don't have to do that. But again, these are really good sticks, so I'm very happy with that. I also think the placement on the bottom is appropriate. For one thing, I don't think really using this thing to play 16:9 content is really going to be good. Yes, it has the power to play Switch, and yes, it has the power to play modern gaming, and that means that the sticks in this position are not going to be the greatest, especially when holding this thing. And so, you know, for PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast 4.3 content, I think it's inappropriate because I like the D-pad up top. The inline shoulder buttons do not bother me at all. I think they're really well done. I think they feel good. I like the curve of the handheld and the position of it. And even when using the sticks, I feel like it's in a good place to use it for. We do have our familiar forefront buttons, start and select, the Anbernic home button, and then we have a reset button right here. On the back, we do have a vent for your airflow intake. We have 2 speakers on the bottom. On the bottom side, we do have a headphone jack, 1 single USB-C port that does display out, 1 single SD card slot. And then on the top, you have your volume rocker and your power button along with this grill. Nothing on the sides. So this is a nice feeling, good, well-made handheld that I think feels good in the hands. But yes, it's heavy, but I think it's a really, really good build quality, and there's really not a negative to say for it.
Enough, but you deadheads should ignore all the fanboyism and know this thing holds like a tank in quicksand.
And he is still not addressing all that loud fan noise. It buzzes louder than your grandma's nighttime toy.
Hey, bro, keep it PG here, man. What are you talking about? All right, you want to talk about it? Let's hash this out. Does this thing have a loud fan noise? Yes, it is a little bit of a loud fan noise, but it's not something that really bothers me. Maybe I'm just not sensitive to it like most of you, rest of you, or some of you are. But all right, let's get the gorilla out of the room, the elephant, whatever you want to say. Yeah, this thing can be a little bit loud. Now, Gamma is working on this. Anbernic's aware of it, so I think over time this will be better. In fact, if you're watching this video in the far future, it may not have that problem anymore. So, okay, that's it. We admit it. It has somewhat of a fan thing. Are you happy that I mentioned it?
Yes, because deadheads should know that this thing, while being premium, is a heavy, solid, loud, flat-handed turd that is still not up to snuff with the Odin Portal.
Oh man, don't go there. That's so overplayed. Yes, everybody knows the Odin Portal is the GOAT. I love my Odin Portal, and it can do everything, okay? But guess what it can't do? It can't do 4.3 content, and this screen is beautiful. It is a gorgeous screen for 4.3 content. This thing is flat, which means it's pretty pocketable as well. It's not that hard to get into the pocket. And so there's a lot of reason to have this. So as long as you ignore the fact that the Odin 2 Portal is going to do a little bit more and be a little better in a lot of ways, this is a good handheld. So let's wrap up this review and talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. So I like this handheld a lot. I love the screen. I think the screen is fantastic. I hope we see this screen in some budget devices. It would be nice to have a 407XXH that had this screen. I would love it. I think it's great because 4.3 content is beautiful. However, if you think about it, the real beauty comes once you hit GameCube, PS2, and those levels like that, even some Nintendo Wii. And guess what? This has the power to do it. Now, it's kind of funny. They put the 8300 in this, and they put the T820 in this slide. Maybe it should have been the opposite. I don't know. But with this screen, I think the power is justified to get the full shader experience. Sega Saturn on this thing looks beautiful. I've played a lot of games on this. Even turning this thing sideways, you can get some nice vertical going with it. It is a fantastic handheld. Now, let's talk about the downsides. Not to stroke the ego of that other guy, but yeah, this thing is heavy. It's not as heavy as the slide, and the distribution of it is pretty solid. A lot of you guys don't like metal handhelds because of the girth and the weight of it, and that's probably going to occur here. Should they put out an H of this or a version of this with plastic? Absolutely. Put one out, Anbernic. get one out with a little less cost. Let's put it with that. However, with this processor, the metal does act as a heat sink, which can be a beneficial for that. And no, like even he admitted, it does not heat up like a 7-Eleven burrito. So that's actually nice. It stays cool to the touch even when pushing it, as long as you can ignore the other thing, that loud fan noise. Now, I admit the loud fan noise is a downside for many people. It didn't bother me. For some of you, it's going to bother you, but I didn't care about it. That other guy, it bothered him quite a bit. But overall, I think that this is a worthy successor to the 405M. I think Anbernic has done a good job. They continue to hone their craft. They continue to improve here. I do wish this had a little bit of an ergonomic grip that was a little better, but overall, I'm very happy with this. I don't think you need the 12 gig. I think that's a little overdone. Maybe, if this was widescreen 1690, you were really going to get into, some modern gaming, you'd want the widescreen. I don't know, maybe on Win Later playing some older games, this will look good in 4.3 content. I don't know. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Also, that other guy, I don't want to hear from him anymore. I don't care what he thinks about this.
That's because you're an Anbernic shill that fanboys everything. I am here to warn those of the downsides of hype. And
joke's on you, buddy. Anbernic doesn't send me devices. I buy all of them myself. I bought this myself off AliExpress. By the way, check out our coupon codes. So yeah, I am no shill or fanboy, but I do agree with you that the deadheads do deserve to hear potential downsides. Maybe negative Dedfred can be helpful. I don't know. Let me guys know what you think. Anyways, remember to love your hugged ones and hug your loved ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Deadfred out. By the way, yes, buy the 477M if you liked the 405M.